So this is the whole point of this interaction, is to get some ideas and build some value propositions for your industry as a body and for its members.
One very practical question to each one of you. If there is a consultant in this room who doesn't deal with your company but wishes to, how do we approach you and what do you look for? If you could just briefly tell us.
I'll go first because I've already mentioned it. At the moment, we are really not looking at increasing our consultant base because we have already got our preferred list across the regions. But if we are not very happy with our relationship with any particular consultant, then that's the time we would look at a new one. And because we would be open in the future, we don't say no to interactions even at the current stage. So we are in touch with consultants when they approach us, but there is no new addition happening at this juncture.
So do you have a policy that, you absolutely, you have a software in place whereby you will not deal with a vendor outside the 5 that you have, or is it, if you get stuck tomorrow, can you go to a 6th?
Yeah.
Okay. So a relationship where you feel, okay, let's give this guy a chance since the other 5 are not working is possible. What about the others?
It's possible. We have a partner there who we're in the process of signing in this room, and we're going to sign before we share. But it's the same thing, you would look at your own set of vendors, evaluate the relationship and say fine, and then you have people who, actually to be very honest, basically it's a lot of persistence that pays. So if you have someone who's constantly been engaging with you and sharing with you insights but you've not been able to work, at a first opportunity you look at that guy and say, Rajan said you look at a comfort, you know the guy, or you have an engagement level and you say, fine, let's give it a try, and that person or that body has to be, that organization has to be a credible source. But I think one thing that we would always look at is we would look at a partner who wouldn't just want to focus on saying only give me middle management, top management. That just because that's not a true partnership. We have different needs. So if you want the cake, you also need to work at the base. That's where my whole point.
But there's also a perception that when a consultant starts working at a certain level, you also mentally slot him at that level, and then you never look at him for those levels in the same breath. Is that true?
Not for us actually. Not for us.
To me, what happens? You're actually right. Those were certain presumptions which used to be. That's why I'm saying I don't see a consultant who can do a length and breadth with me. If you really want to build that partnership, and if somebody is interested, then for us, as Pragya was saying, we brought down our list of 450 to 75 across India. Okay? And I am right now, the only guy who's authorized to sign a new consultant is me. Nobody else in the company has authority to sign up a new consultant.
We've got to be very good to you.
so across India, whether it is Chennai, whether it is, the paper comes to my table. Because I want to control the quality we are trying to do. Besides that, we still don't have a length and breadth.
There's an opportunity.
Yeah, so if you really want to partner, I would say look at the whole length and breadth of India and of the jobs. More than willing to sign up with 2, 3, 4, not even 1. I'm willing to share the whole thing. Come, understand how the whole thing works. Take out, you say that I want to work only at X because this is the commercial which works. Take certain pain out of me. So for example, if we were administering Thomas profiling, which we are doing at our end, you administer it. It's not a great thing to do. It's just a piece of paper. You administer. You prepare the candidate. Bring him to me. You get the money. But if you say no, I will just send the paper and then all the process the organization takes on. So it's a healthy commercial one can work at, because there are steps of which you can take out and say, okay, this is non-value adding for me. I take out that step. I give it to you. This is the commercial step. So you can work on that. And I'm saying more than willing to look at not 1, 2, 3. But has to be whole across India and the whole pie.
Great, that's a good idea. It's a very, very good idea.
So can we call it a day if there are no more questions? I'd like to thank you on behalf of IMI, who is our host, ERA, and our sponsor, Platinum. Amit and myself wanted to thank the speakers for joining us, and all of you making this a very lively morning. A lot of takeaways, I'm sure a lot of opportunities that all of you have identified with what various people have said. A lot of takeaways for the industry, and I hope that we've been able to add some value as a collective body with our thinking and what we intend to do for the BFSI industry. And we want to engage with you at an industry body to an industry body level. with that note, I'd like to say thank you very, very much. I'd like Amit to just give you a small token of our appreciation for being here this morning and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.